Hi everybody, how you doing? Um, Apathy. Oh my gosh, and emotions. Um, Here's a response to Gary Warmerdam. Um, Hiding one's emotions. We have a friend that does that quite well, don't we? Um, that's not a good thing. God told me to come out here and be the least apathic person on the planet, to bare my soul. I hide no emotions whatsoever, ever. I can't. It's just like against my nature. Actually, it should be against everybody's nature. It goes against the laws of God in a sense because you're not giving of yourself in that aspect. I'm not talking about my anger or even my tears, but like with words and human communication and the way people keep themselves closed and guarded. And I understand, I thoroughly understand, because then that goes into a word called entropy, which is used in physics. That's a hidden combination of a solution. So if something's hidden, that's entropy. So, like in mathematics, also, there might be an equation to a solution that is hidden, and that's entropy. So, back to entropy, human beings have a tendency to learn how to hide their emotions. Um, Happy is easy to display. Everybody displays happy. That, like you said, is very acceptable. And I notice that too. Of course, everybody can, be laughy taffy, and that's all good. But what if you're upset and you explain and convey your displeasure in something or something? It's like it's illegal, like it's against the law on us, that type of thing. So um, I've made it a practice, no matter who it is, to um, um, be straightforward with my speech. Try not to be too cutting with it, and explain my feelings in depth. And if they're the type of person, if I get cut off, I love you. I love you all very much. If um, they're hiding their feelings from you or won't accept your feelings, hiding their feelings to you and won't accept your feelings from you to them, then they're really not the kind of person you need to be around, unless you want to try and draw that out of them too. And we all could work on it together, because apathy is the biggest killer right now in this country. Everybody hiding their true emotions. It's sickening. It really is when you look at it. Even anger. I would rather have, like, say it's your little kid and they come running up to you and they go, "Mom, I'm mad at you." And you go, "Well, I'm angry with you. So we'll talk about this later." you know. But I'd rather have my kid come up and say, "I'm angry with you," than have them sit in their room and cry inside and have me no response from me. So that's kind of where I am with that. I am the kid that would walk up and say how I felt and get beat down for doing it. And I've never been any different, and I just can't be somebody I'm not. I hate it. When I know inside somebody's thinking one thing and they're saying another, it's like, whoa, you just got on my list, buddy, or crossed off it, one of the two, because yeah, and that's the rabbit hole of words for sure. You know, all these pathies, these paths, right? Oh my goodness. See, aren't you glad you didn't become a surgeon? Seriously, or a doctor. Aren't you happier just thinking and talking and driving? Or maybe not. Maybe you want to be a farmer, or I know you must have took a psychology course for any kind of medical. So what about maybe you'd make a good psychiatrist? Oh, that's funny. You really would, maybe. I know when I'm down in the dumps at night, you guys, Gary, shout out. 33 years old, pretty intelligent and very loving, and uh, reaching out to people with explanations of life from his viewpoint and his view. In my opinion, I hold a very high regard for you, Gary. Readings that you've done and different things to um, brighten up my life, you know. So anyway, there's that. You're a good friend to people. I appreciate that always. And so anyway, you guys, yeah, pop over to Gary's channel, WARMERDAM, Gary Warmerdam. I hope I'm saying it right. I do believe I am. I do believe it's probably, I'm gonna say, Danish or German heritage, but I could be absolutely wrong. So, who knows? Because people's bloodlines change and switch and all that stuff all the time. So, but yeah, I thought I'd just give you my viewpoint. You wanted on emotions and apathy and the ability to hide our feelings. Yes, that's what gets people in trouble. Um, Believing other people's abilities to hide their feelings. If somebody wanted to kill you and they were laughing, ha ha ha. Yeah, I always do that. I was raised around somebody that had this fake laugh that she'd go, ha ha ha, and it just killed me. It like from the inside out type of thing, you know, it's like, ugh, not real, you know. So that's why I do that. And um, yeah, the ability to hide their emotions is what it was all about, you know, and that is part of the Satanistic craft, the ability to fool, to not only they think they can conjure, but boy, do they have some news coming, but they actually think they have the ability to control others' minds and speak words at us that are gonna set us back or whatever. All they can do is fool and trick and magic. Magic is nothing but the illusion of a falsehood, the illusion of tricking you, the lie of fooling you, and the emptiness of apathy. And that's narcissistic. And somebody without emotions is really capable of anything. Not that people truly have that. It's just that they've been trained, and you kind of do adopt it. Once you start going in that direction, like you don't really want to show your feelings, because I know you're a target when you do. You're it. But I don't care. I'm tough. I'm strong. I can take this crap. That's their viewpoint. And let's just say if I'm on top of a tree and they're on the ground, my viewpoint's a little better. So, the papers I got to read and stuff put me on top of that tree with a good viewpoint. And I still say get a Webster's Dictionary first edition and start reading it like a book. All the definitions of every word will lead you into another word and how they're connected in the rabbit hole all the way around the world. And you can listen to another language and hear the English words within, and vice versa in our language with theirs. And once you start digging in, what, oh my God, they just said that to me and they're from that country. I didn't know they wanted me dead. You know, that type of thing. You'll be digging into the deepest rabbit hole you ever found if you do that. Even any dictionary, but most of them are really vague and don't go into deep explanations nowadays. So they leave you kind of wondering, like, what does that word really mean, you know? So, yeah, but to be like a statue and show no emotion really isn't a good thing, you know? Seriously. If I had a client, say if I was a driver of a car, a taxi or some type like that, and I had somebody in the back and it just like bummed my day out, I would honestly have to say, I hope your day gets better because I've got to make mine a little better. I think I'll take a break or something like that. I wouldn't let it go unscathed. That's just the way I am. God leads my words like that, you know, in the nicest way. Now, my temperament does get in the way, and I will chew your head off. That's my nature. But I do try to keep God in my heart. Like, I was praying about this all night. How was I going to convey my emotional feelings to ones that keep their emotions closed off? And that other guy I was talking about, Gary, he's really a cold fish. I'm sorry for you. I really do love him too. He's awesome. He's so intelligent and getting into the physics of everything of life and his knowledge and depth in that area. But there's a couple areas where I'm not going to say lacking. I'm just going to say young, because I know I prayed and God's going to show him that. So, but, and he'll be okay like that too. And I know that, you know, because like I said, he's young in that aspect. So, and I prayed that he'd show a little emotions, because being a robot isn't something that humans desire. It's not something we want to be around. I don't want to kiss a robot goodnight, you know. I don't kiss anybody goodnight, but maybe my animals. But if somebody comes around. But all I'm saying is, keeping our emotions to ourselves isn't the thing to do for communication at all. You know, at all. And what's inside yourself, what's screaming to come out, it's got to come out in the most graceful manner you can find. There's my opinion on emotions and apathy. So, hope everybody's doing well. It's muggy, probably about 85 right now. This morning was a little exciting. Chicklet, my homeless chicken out there, was yelling this morning. So I went out there, and there was the most beautiful calico cat walking through the yard, and she ran in her house and she had her head stuck out and she's screaming. I taught her how to kind of bark. And well, it was a joke when I was feeding her, and she'd go bark, bark, and I go bark, bark, and then she started doing it really loud. She'd go bark, and I go bark, and she'd keep doing it, and we go back and forth. Well, she was doing that really loud and hard this morning, and I looked out the window, and she had her head stuck out and yelling at this cat, and I went to the kitchen window and told it to go, and I felt sorry for it. It looked like a stray, very, like I said, beautiful, beautiful. It was a black background with them big liver spots of red and white, and just a gorgeous gold eyes, just a real pretty little, look like a boy, all scarred up, hungry. So yeah, so this morning was a little exciting, and I usually get up, I'll have a cup of coffee and clean up, but this morning I went out and fed my girls earlier because she was upset. And when I took her egg, she was looking at me like, you want me dead? You want to kill me? What you got there? Taking my egg, you know. And then I kind of calmed her down, and then I give her grain, her feed, and then I came back out with some slices of bread for her and the horse, and pick some off, and the chicken will eat with the horse. And even a rabbit was out there by the chicken when she was upset, and that rabbit would not budge from that cat. I think they all were going to start fighting it That cat looked pretty scared when I yelled and said, "Get out of here." It looked like it really should. So I have that effect on everybody, actually, though. If you cross me, I will, it won't be uncomfortable. It'll be scary. And that is God through me. It really is. So that's, not the fear of God, but one of his children portraying that. So, and you can do that with words when you're upset and using your words to teach people. It doesn't matter if it's your mother, father, daughter, son, who it is, friend. Got to tell it like it is, because if you hold it inside, it really isn't any good for you. And if they don't like you, they just don't like you. And they hear your insides anyway. So you might as well spit it out, because they're going to treat you crappy anyway. They might laugh in your face and pretend, oh, we're your friends and all this stuff. And like I said, laughter's easy to display. And that is something that I've thought many, many times. Wow, they have no problem laughing, but they have problems crying. They don't have problem being angry, but they do have a problem portraying that in a graceful manner. Not that I always do, but I'm talking about without trying to have evil intent in there with that, like something to bring you down along with their words. I always try not to bring people down with my words. And that's an important part of empathy, watching how we say and what we say. And sometimes silence is golden. There's a guy I care about, but I was told to be silent. So I have to be. There's more than one of them, but I just thought I'd let you know that being emotional, I was accused many, many times of being overly emotional. But when I took courses and tried to get family into therapy altogether as a group, and they would not go because they didn't want their secrets exposed. Yeah, I tried to take the Masons to a psychiatrist. How funny is that? I thought it was hilarious. I was going to grill them in front of somebody else. That would have been a trip. Very fun. But yeah, I was accused of being overreactive and over emotional. But I'll give you a little, for instance, maybe I have time. Okay, say like if I had a milk poured for me, and then she would will that I spill it, and then I wouldn't get another, and then she would pour my brother an extra one, or do something little, well, more than little, because I actually starved, but she would direct these things towards me. Little kids can be guided with their minds so easy and molded like that. And so when I would get upset and act out later, and being accused of being over emotional. There's really no such thing as over emotional unless you're being evil, and that's not emotional. That's not emotion at all. That's just evil. So, emotion isn't a bad thing, no matter what you got to take to express that. If you're caring about somebody and you're trying to communicate, it's the most important thing you can do. So, okay, there was something else I was going to work on, and but this fell right in with them other paths I was talking about, and apathy's the wrong path. That's what God told me long, long time ago. So, doesn't matter. Suffer for it. I believe that there's a better place than this, and I'm out here getting my hair